Hey guys, so before I get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a Twitter and I do have a Twitch. If you guys want to interact with me on other platforms other than just in the YouTube comments, I would really appreciate it, especially on Twitch, because I've started streaming recently and I would love to interact with you guys again, somewhere other than just the YouTube comments. I hope you guys give me a follow and you guys come hang out, because I would love to talk to you guys about things like Kingdom Hearts, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and maybe some other gaming titles that you guys don't know that I'm into. So yeah, don't forget to do that and enjoy the video. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the video. So as promised, I will be doing my Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMIND DLC trailer analysis video. There's not that much to really go over. However, there are some things that I do want to talk about, give my thoughts on, as well as just sort of bring to your guys' attention. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the analysis. So obviously the trailer opens up, we get to see, you know, the new assemblage place for the new organization members. Clearly nobody is there from what I can tell from this shot. You know, it's really not that special. But if we keep going, we see a hooded figure sitting on the rock. I'll get to that in a minute. And then we have another hooded figure walking up. Now, after we keep watching, we see that the person sitting down obviously is, you know, asking so, you know, as if like he was expecting him or something. And then if we keep going further, we see that we have young Master Xehanort, and he says that the coat wards off darkness. And before we go any further, I do want to point out that young Master Xehanort has his gray eyes. Now that is very, very, very important for us to determine when this is taking place, because obviously, for those of you guys are aware, in Dream Drop Distance, when we get introduced to young Master Xehanort, he does have his gold eyes. But if we look back at the intro, the opening cinematic for Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 3, and as well as going back in time when we were looking at the chessboard scenes between young Ericus and young Xehanort, he also has his gray eyes. So this determines that this is definitely set in somewhere around that time. I'll get to that in a minute. So obviously he says the coat wards off darkness, it's useful. So then the Master of Masters, who I believe that this person is just given by his mannerisms, says, told ya, so how'd it go? As if, and from what I can tell for this, he must have supplied young Master Xehanort with the coat. Since we know that obviously the oldest people in the Kingdom Hearts timeline to use the coat are the Master of Masters as well as Lucio. So obviously, you know, he must have come into contact with young Master Xehanort, given him the coat, and yeah, so that's where I'm getting that from. So he says the World Tour. Now, the World Tour that he's referring to is something that is hidden within the secret reports of Kingdom Hearts 3. Let me see if I can find it for you guys, and I will read it, and I will also put it up on screen so you guys can read it for yourselves. So I am getting this secret report from a Twitter account called Oblivion. Thank you for posting this. So basically, it is secret report number 2. So in it, it is titled the Mark of Mastery Journal. Some days have passed since I set off on my journey to prepare for the Mark of Mastery examination. Ericus asked to leave to undertake some pilgrimage, but apparently I am the first to tour the worlds written of in the old fairy tales. So obviously, as we can see, he's exploring the worlds of the fairy tales, aka the time of when the Master of Masters is around. So it does make sense that he would have the coat in order to help him traverse and to do what he wants to do. Also, since he mentioned specifically the tour of the worlds, and Master of Masters is asking young Master Xehanort, the world tour, it's pretty obvious that this is what they're getting at. So going further, it says, until a few short years ago, I'd known only my own world, a speck of land surrounded by the sea, but how I dreamed of, yearned for the world beyond, and granted guidance from the future, I left that nest behind. As I treaded the path to my master's side, I came in contact with darkness in many forms. I knew even then, as by instinct, terrifying as its power was, it could be harnessed, mastered. So, given from this section of the secret report, we actually do learn that, we know from previous, you know, Dream Drop Distance, that young Master Xehanort, he originated from Destiny Islands, or at least that is his home world. So obviously, you know, he went out, he sought out new worlds, and he ultimately did succeed. He saw a bunch of different worlds, and I guess from what we can tell from this scene is that the Master of Masters is the one that did help him do it. So that's very, very important for us to know. So then he goes on and says, Ericus is a blue blood descended from the very first masters in the age of fairy tales, but I did not come this far to indulge in adulation. I will be his peer, his equal, and to do that, I must learn to wield the power born from both darkness and light in proper balance, and that is, of course, from Xehanort. So, obviously, you know, that came to mind, that secret report specifically, just in terms of the reactions and the mention of the World Tour. It all comes together, so I thought it was important to bring that up. So if we go forward, we see Young Master Xehanort sits on the rock right next to the Master of Masters, and he says, in an awful way, I realize just how necessary I am. And now that is one of the coolest things, because I guess that he did see something. Throughout the worlds, he saw, you know, all the different darknesses. It does say specifically he does go through the worlds of the fairy tale, so obviously those are all the worlds that we do go through when we're playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Whatever that leads up to, perhaps I could make a full video on that. However, I will just be discussing the stuff that's in the trailer itself. So yeah, let's go forward. So if we keep going, we actually get to see that we do have playable characters. If we go here, we see that we have Riku, we have Aqua, and to everyone's surprise, we have Roxas as well. So when it comes to these boss fights, from what I can tell, these are just the same boss fights that we do fight once we get to the Keyblade Graveyard with Sora towards the end of the game. Here we are fighting, obviously, Dark Riku. I don't know if we can see anyone else. I think, yeah, and that's Xigbar right there. So, or Blue Shoe, you know, however you want to say it. But yes, right here we do see that we do fight as Riku with Sora. That's something important to keep in mind. Going forward, we have Aqua and Ventus fighting Vanitas, and it's probably right in the back there. We have Terranort. So, that's obviously, you know, that's okay with me as well. Here I have an issue. Okay, so here we have the scene where it is obviously you're playing as Roxas, and then you're fighting with Lee, and you're also fighting with Xion. So if we go back and look at these fights, remember the story of Kingdom Hearts at this point. So here we have Riku and Sora. They are the ones that fight, obviously. Dark Riku replica, whatever you want to call them, as well as Xigbar. That is a fight that happens, so switching the roles does make a lot of sense. That could totally be fine. Here we have Aqua and just Ven. Now, before we get to them when we were playing as Sora throughout Kingdom Hearts 3, we do see them fighting Vanitas and Terranort without Sora there. So this could easily just be a fight that takes place, obviously, before Sora arrives. That makes total sense. However, if we go to the scene with Roxas, Lee, and Xion, this does not match up at all whatsoever. Because for those of you guys who do not remember, you fight this boss fight with Roxas and Xion. Lee gets his Keyblade destroyed and he's injured. Xion obviously implies that Roxas will fill in for him and she will fill in for Kairi after she gets kidnapped. So in order to be fighting Isa as Roxas with Lee and Xion, that doesn't make any sense to me. So the first two canonically make sense when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3 story, but this one in particular, I have a lot of worries for. I'm a little nervous. I hope they don't retcon anything or anything of the sorts, because like I said, the first two make sense because we do fight Riku and Xigbar with Riku, so that makes sense. This fight with Aqua and Ven obviously could just be taking place before Sora shows up. But this one right here, I don't know how I feel about it. You know, that's awesome we get to play as Roxas. I'm sure that there's some sort of explanation or some sort of, you know, party switching feature that they added. Again, Sora's supposed to be a part of this fight. So I have no idea what this means. I don't know where it can go. We're just gonna have to wait for more information. Maybe another trailer that's supposed to happen at E3. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a little bit more information. But yeah, this whole scene here doesn't make a lot of sense. Not saying that I'm not excited for it, but it just, in terms of the storyline of Kingdom Hearts 3, it makes no sense. So if we skip forward, we actually get to see the DLC Keyblade, which I'm assuming, I'm not sure if that's it, but that's just, you know, we do know that we are getting a free DLC Keyblade, so I'm assuming that we will be getting Oathkeeper. So we get to see that Sora is wielding Oathkeeper, which is awesome because Oathkeeper is one of my favorite Keyblades, hands down. So he transforms and he gets his new form. So if we look at this one, it's very, 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 very similar to the one that we get when we use the Ultima weapon in Kingdom Hearts 3. Obviously, you know, it's being demonstrated throughout Scala ad Kylum. You know, we're fighting all the armored darknesses and stuff. I don't know if that's their real names. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so that's really cool. Ooh, wow, good frame. But yeah, no, so that's really awesome. Again, I love Oathkeeper. It's one of my top 3 favorite Keyblades. I'm really excited to see what the transformation is, because this just looks more like a form. Like, you know, like in this frame right here, it is just the Keyblade itself, so we don't get to see a transformation or anything. But it's very peculiar that it looks a lot like the Ultima weapons. Yeah, who knows? Maybe there's just some sort of connection there. So, moving forward, we have Lux Sword, whatever you want to call him, and he is interacting with Xigbar in Olympus. So he starts out the conversation with saying, Xigbar, who are you? As in, like, you know, he's kind of onto something. Moving forward, we see that we do have Xigbar right here, and he has a card in his hands. Obviously, Lux Sword must have given it to him. So while sitting here, they're having a little bit of stare down. Obviously, Xigbar doesn't want to respond, and Lux Sword says, all right. And then he continues with saying, it doesn't make a difference to me anyways. I'll just keep playing dumb. Now, that is something that definitely points out that Lux Sword is onto something. This man has an idea of what's going on. And the reason why this scene is so important is because we do know that from that one scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 where Xemnas is explaining how the last 4 members of the original organization were chosen, Marluxia, Demyx, Lux Sword, as well as Larxene, were all selected for a specific reason because of their ties to the ancient Keyblade War and the ancient Keyblade times. So this is crazy. This is good. So let's just keep watching it. So once he, you know, vanishes off, I love that. I love the way Xigbar throws the card. It's so funny. Just, nope, get that out of my sight. So then Xigbar says, the question is, who are you, Lux Sword? Now, that is a great way to end the trailer. Now, obviously, like I said, there are plenty of theories buzzing around. I will make a video discussing some of the theories. One of the popular ones is that Lux Sword is the OC from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. I don't agree with that, and I will make a video talking about that. I'll probably try to post it maybe tomorrow before the conference. I don't know. I'll see if I have time to do it, but, you know, like I said, this is something very important that we have to pay attention to. And then obviously right at the end, we get the Kingdom Hearts 3 logo with the ReMIND thing right here. Now, a lot of people are talking about this thing right in the middle between Re and Mind. There's a bunch of different theories on that. I could also make separate videos discussing that because it might take me a little bit longer. But like I said, I just wanted this video to basically just be talking about mostly the things that are found within the trailer itself. Overall, I absolutely loved this trailer. It was a really, really good teaser. I'm kind of nervous because I don't want them to do the same thing they did with Kingdom Hearts 3 before it launched when they show a little too much. I mean, not to say that I think Kingdom Hearts 3 showed a little too much, but in some people's minds, they showed a little bit too much. There were some things I did personally did not want to really be shown off. So yeah, hopefully they handle ReMIND in a very different way than they did with the original game. And at the end, yeah, right here, we see that it is coming this winter. So it doesn't say if it's coming out, you know, obviously around like December of this year or if it's going to be pushed into 2020. Either way, I was expecting it to come out in 2020 regardless. I didn't think it would come out this year because I feel like that's just a little too soon. But if it does I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, it could come out tomorrow and I'd be excited. But yeah, no, overall, I really enjoyed this trailer. Like I said, it did a really good job of introducing us, just teasing us just a little bit as to what is going to be contained within this. And according to Tetsuya Nomura, he did say that there will be more scenes within the upcoming trailers or just the DLC in general that we are all going to enjoy. So let me know all of your thoughts and comments down below, guys. Let me know if you guys are hyped for the ReMIND DLC because I am ecstatic. I cannot wait. Hopefully they'll show more at E3, but if we don't, you know, if we get the same trailer again, it is what it is. I just hope that we get a little bit more of information. It doesn't really have to be a trailer, just something, but that's just personally what I would want. Don't forget to let me know all of that down below. Don't forget to like the video. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more Kingdom Hearts 3 content. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.